Welcome everyone to yet another LinkedIn Live. This is going to be a very, very special one. So this is not your typical yet another conversation on Gen AI. Okay? I really encourage you to wait till the end because we have a very special guest today who is going to share his unique point of view around AI and the world of cybersecurity. So welcome, Harold. You're looking absolutely dapper as always. I mean, where's your Trellix swag? I have mine here. So I have
There
my
you
jacket.
go. I have my Trellix t-shirt and a beautiful
Oh,
Yeti
there you
mug.
go. There you go. You got it from marketing, right? Absolutely.
Absolutely, absolutely. I got hooked up.
Excellent. So 20 years of experience in information security and risk management, Harold, and you've been in various amazing companies and organizations, Loan Depot, of course, at Trellix, you're our amazing CISO, Santander, Fujitsu, Citi. I mean, great to have you on this LinkedIn Live, Harold. I mean, there's a lot of buzz going on around Gen AI in the recent times. Gen AI, ML, AI, etc. That's been around for a long time, right? What's this buzz about, Harold?
Ash, it's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, Gen AI, it's getting a lot of attention for sure, right? With ChatGPT and several other entrants, it's made a big splash, and we're all dealing with what does this mean to us? But the story of artificial intelligence in the enterprise, especially for us as a global cybersecurity organization, it is a tool that has been in our arsenal for a long time. Whether you're talking machine learning, you're talking artificial intelligence as a technology, or now we're talking about Gen AI, there are so many different ways that organizations such as us are leveraging these capabilities to create better outcomes for our customers. So I think it's important for us to really understand this is just a manifestation of a constant revision, a constant enhancement in technology. And we are really, I think, at the forefront of how we're leveraging this technology.
Absolutely. And I know that Trellix, I mean, we at Trellix and McAfee, FireEye, et cetera, it's a long heritage that we've had, not just Gen AI, AI, it's ML, Gen AI, AI, the whole saga of automation dating back, 25 years. So amazing stuff there. Now let's get a little bit into specifics here. So Harold, you wrote a very interesting blog recently around AI and cybersecurity. So I'm going to quote you. I'm just going to read a couple of things from your blog. I have it right up here. So you said a couple of things which just, kind of stood out for me. And maybe when we finish this video, we can link to that blog as well. Gen AI can also increase the risk of internal threats. That's one of the things that you said. You also said AI in cybersecurity is a double-edged sword, right? And this is one that really caught my eye. CISOs might not be usually involved in the day to day of cyber fighting, but we can use AI to understand the biggest threats that our organizations face and need to address around top challenges facing our teams. Right? So basically, tell us a bit more. How does this whole aspect of ML, AI, Gen AI contribute to better cybersecurity?
Yeah, absolutely. So to unpack that, I think let's understand that this is both friend and foe, right? As a new technology that has arrived that we have no chance of putting back in the bottle, right? The genie is certainly out of the bottle. We have to find ways to enhance and accelerate our own capabilities. That's the positive end of this. And organizations like us are really looking at how do we optimize this? What does this mean in the arsenal of capabilities for organizations? How can we introduce new capabilities that make defenders out there much more effective? But as you said, this is kind of a long story here, and for every technology and every advance, we also see bad actors finding ways to leverage it. It's the other side of the double-edged sword. I think it's important for us to embrace this as leaders, as defenders, and say there's probably more good here than bad, and that while there might be attackers that are going to find new and interesting ways to leverage and weaponize generative AI, understand that capabilities like machine learning, for example, just an example, right? If you go back to the early days of us as an organization and our portfolio of products, we started leveraging machine learning in the early 2010s, right? In that time frame, where we were looking at how do we better distinguish heuristics and additional analysis that are going to require much further and processing capabilities than any single analyst could ever do. So some really great uses of machine learning today are predictive analytics. It's a perfect instrument. It's where you can start to get insights into what might happen based on patterns of what has happened. And that's wonderful. However, as we sort of progress, right, and we start to look at a couple of other advances and evolutions, for us, we certainly are a large XDR provider. We are the leading voice in XDR. And the idea of a multi-vector, having inputs across multiple technologies and investments, and having the ability to gain insights from that is a perfect use case for AI. It is exactly the kind of thing, because once again, trying to stitch all this information together doesn't really lend itself outside of the ability to leverage AI levels of computational capability. Gen AI, though, as you touched upon, as was covered in the blog, I'm really excited because here's a challenge, Ash, right? You bring together teams to defend organizations, and you find yourself often wanting more information, but you don't want to distract your team. You want to keep them on task, keep them focused on dealing with the most recent cyber incident. So the idea that a CISO might be able to use something like natural language processing and say, describe to me across these thousands of events what your recommendations are, what your insights are to a Gen AI model. That I think is going to be a fundamental game changer for our ability as defenders to be able to get the kinds of insights faster. Because oftentimes, like just if you think about the reality, am I pulling my SOC team out of the details to provide the executive communication, or can I get that kind of insight very quickly? That is going to be a big change, and it's just one of the examples of where these kinds of capabilities are going to improve the defender's playbook.
So Harold, thank you. There's a lot to unpack there, and you use a term multi-vector. I mean, what exactly does this mean, right? I mean, yes, we have a platform at Trellix, and is that what you're alluding to? Is it the various dimensions from which attacks can probably come in, and where you really need that intelligence to be pervasive across the platform?
Well, I think, Ash, one of the biggest challenges we have seen as defenders is we have solved the problem of the day with the solution of the day. Phishing became an issue. I need anti-phishing capabilities. I have data loss prevention concerns. I deploy DLP technologies. This idea of a problem, a new solution, a problem, a new solution has led to a platform sprawl for every CISO and defender out there. We're dealing with 70, 80 different products oftentimes. However, attackers don't really care that you have to jump through 18 hoops to try and get at insight and information that's relevant to their campaign, to their attack. So for them, they have effectively an advantage. We're navigating all these different tools to try and stitch together a view. That is the promise, that is the goal of XDR. The idea that, yes, multi-vector attacks are a reality. I might start with something that was initially detected at your intrusion prevention system. Maybe your proxy saw something. Maybe your DLP solution saw something. We have to bring all that together, provide that relevant information, augmented with threat intelligence, right? Understand that IP address, that threat actor, these signatures are telling me I know who this threat actor is, and I can see it operating across all of your platforms. That's what our platform is all about. That's an absolute perfect use case for AI. That's why I think we really are at the forefront of this.
Wonderful, Harold. I have one or two more things to talk to you about. Look, you're a very deep thinker. You really bring a lot of unique perspectives and an innovative CISO from everything that I've seen over the years with you. Tell me something, especially share with our friends who are our listeners, right? Anything that's new, that's not yet been discussed, right? In the world of cybersecurity and AI, in the combined this new world of Gen AI.
Thanks, Ash. So let's do a little bit of forecasting, right? Let's think about where this is all going. Gen AI has arrived as an underlying technology, and we know from various studies outside of cyber, but just the business world at large, is embracing AI as the way forward, a way of optimizing labor costs and a variety of other levers that help enterprises everywhere. So that ship has sailed. We are now in a post-AI world where we are going to embrace this wholeheartedly. Well, as defenders, we're also embracing these technologies. Where is this all going? I believe that we're headed to a world where we are going to hand more and more of our defenses to machine speed, where a world of machine, the threat actor decides he's going to optimize or she's going to optimize their attack patterns and hand that to a machine. We're going to increasingly hand to more and more intelligent agents acting on our behalf. So if we are headed towards a world where things are operating at machine speed, we as defenders need to start to find ways that our technology is operating on our behalf as a benevolent force within our organization, helping us defend the organization. Of course, guided through guided through the understandings that we all have acquired over the course of many decades in terms of what's possible, what can I deploy, what can I not deploy. But ultimately, this is a step, a major step in the direction of a future where we are leveraging more and more machine speed response. But I think for us, it's beholden to us to take the next steps to say, we're embracing these technologies. We know we need to operate across multiple vectors. We know it's not enough to just focus on one underlying control. So if I'm handing to an intelligent agent some of my defenses, embracing the idea that the SOC can be augmented significantly by leveraging these capabilities, then I'm really setting myself up for a future that is really going to be upon us. How soon? That's anyone's guess. But I do believe it's coming, and it's coming quickly.
Excellent. All right, let's have one last conversation and then we'll close this out very quickly. I've seen you present to customers, to other CISOs, and you always bring up this platform slide, right? The Trellix platform slide, and you always talked about this underpinning layer. I remember when we were constructing this picture as well. You basically asked me and recommended that we call it intelligence, not just artificial intelligence. Why is that, Harold?
Great question, Ash. Thank you. So for us, understanding that the organization has acquired over multiple decades tremendous insights in defending enterprises worldwide. That information is not something that you can readily just acquire without having the skills and experience of defending enterprises worldwide time and time again. Baking that, of course, and augmenting that with some new generative AI capabilities is wonderful. But you need the battle-tested capabilities, the true global intelligence, the 24 plus million endpoints collecting telemetry and informing you about what are the realities on the ground worldwide. So those kinds of things, I think, are really major accelerators. Every defender, every listener out there that might have, a portfolio of capabilities defending their enterprise. And I've been there. I've deployed just about everything. I know, from firsthand experience. I struggled consistently on the idea of how do I bring this all together? And how do I bring some of that human intelligence, some of that machine intelligence, some of that threat intelligence into the conversation? And that's why I think we just want to abstract all of that and say we need an intelligence layer.
Wonderful. Excellent. If I summarize, so you need an intelligent layer. You need a platform that basically doesn't make you go hunting for various point solutions. That's one, so that you can reduce the silo sprawl. And thirdly, you basically want an approach that's been proven for years now, and that's what Trellix brings to the table. I've enjoyed this conversation with you, Harold. I am going to encourage our listeners, people who are going to read this after the fact as well. Please go to Harold's blog on AI and cybersecurity. There's a ton of great material there, and please stay tuned for a lot more from Trellix on this topic. Thanks again. Thank you, Harold. We'll see you on the next LinkedIn Live.
Thank you so much, Ash.